Fleet Admiral Kexthor had built his reputation on swift, overwhelming victories. The Krillian Empire's shock tactics were legendary across the galaxy. Identify a target, strike without warning, claim the spoils. His massive armada of 800 warships had never met meaningful resistance. The blue planet in the Terran system looked no different from 1,000 others they'd conquered. Initial scans showed primitive technology, scattered settlements, and what appeared to be a largely agricultural civilization, perfect for harvesting resources and enslaving the population. Begin orbital bombardment of major population centers, Kexthor commanded as his fleet dropped out of hyperspace. Standard shock doctrine. Break their will to resist before they can organize. The first wave of plasma cannons lit up the planet's surface with devastating precision. Military installations, government centers, and industrial complexes vanished in brilliant flashes. Kexthor watched with satisfaction as his tactical display showed successful strikes across all major continents. Curious, his intelligence officer, Commander Vexani, noted while reviewing the sensor data. The planet's designation in our navigation charts is Earth. That name appears in several restricted databases, but the files are classified above my clearance level. Kexthor dismissed the concern with a wave of his claw. Probably another bureaucratic error. Begin landing operations. Expect minimal resistance. The first sign something was wrong came when the planet's communication networks, supposedly destroyed in the bombardment, suddenly blazed back to life. Not scattered distress calls or surrender negotiations, coordinated military communications on frequencies the Krillians hadn't even detected during their reconnaissance. Sir, Vexani's voice carried a note of confusion. We're detecting massive energy signatures emerging from underground installations. Installations that weren't visible on our initial scans. Before Kexthor could respond, his flagship's proximity alarm screamed. Objects were launching from the planet's surface. Not the crude missiles they'd expected, but sleek interceptors moving at velocities that made his best pilots look stationary. Impossible, he muttered as the first wave of human fighters tore through his outer perimeter like it was constructed from paper. Our intelligence said this species barely achieved spaceflight. The planetary defense systems that came online defied everything the Krillians thought they knew about human technology. Orbital railguns that could punch through dreadnought armor. Missile swarms guided by artificial intelligences that predicted and countered every evasive maneuver. Energy shields that absorbed and redirected plasma bombardment back at its source. Within minutes, Admiral Vexani's voice was near panic. I've accessed the restricted files on Earth. Sir, this is a Class 12 death world. The dominant species are classified as apex predators with extreme territorial tendencies. There are 17 different warnings about engaging humans in their home system without. The communication cut off as a human torpedo punched through the command bridge's supposedly impenetrable shielding. Kexthor watched in horror as boarding pods latched onto his flagship's hull, their occupants cutting through military-grade armor like butter. The humans who stormed his bridge wore simple combat gear, but moved with a coordination and lethality that made Kexthor's elite soldiers look like untrained recruits. Their leader, a scarred woman with cold eyes, pressed a weapon against his throat. "You made 2 mistakes," she said in perfect Krillian, her translator rendering the words with chilling precision. "First, you attacked without warning. We really hate that." Kexthor's mandibles clicked nervously. "And the second mistake?" She smiled, and the expression was far more terrifying than any battle cry. "You picked a fight with a species that evolved on a world where everything wants us dead. We've been preparing for this moment since we first looked at the stars." As his fleet burned around him and the reports of human counterstrikes reached distant Krillian colonies, Kexthor finally understood why the name Earth carried restricted classifications. Some species should never be surprised.